Friends, the idea for this session is not just the one-way communication in which we will be understanding how to write a good research report, but we will try to learn one tool, which is of course available open source tool through which my research report or a project report for raising some fund or for my own research, maybe leading to the award of some master's or PhD program, or supervising my students who are from the different engineering or whatever discipline we talk about. Some common tools that are used worldwide internationally, we'd like to learn about those things. So this will be a practical session. So I will just talk about 3-4 slides for theory part, and then I will be showing you the online interface of the tool, and we'll try to see or fetch some data from the online sources, which I will be presenting in front of you, and you can take this as an assignment at your own end and try to do this at your own place. And if you feel any difficulty, you can write to me. I would like to solve at any stage, or you can just request Professor Gupta, and we can have an interactive session again also. So let us start the discussion. So the topic is basically the research report writing. Just 3-4 title slide. I just want to touch why we are interested in these type of reports. Most of us are from the faculty, and maybe some are research scholars, and we are interested in some research or consultancy which is sponsored. you know Basically, I need a funds. There may be different funding agencies, government, non-government, but every board, whosoever is going to give me some funds for the research part or for the consultancy part, they need some objective things, some effective solutions, which are of course required, right? Now, from the government perspective, if we see, we have a Niti Aayog, which is earlier known as a Planning Commission of India. They have, this observation I have taken from their website only, that the India manufacturing sector contribution is around 15% to the GDP. This is the data from the Niti Aayog website. And if we compare this data with the contribution of the manufacturing sector, including all the different type of manufacturing, not only the mechanical manufacturing, the China is contributing 34% from the manufacturing sector in the GDP. And this seems to be a policy failure as per the website only, right? The problem is not new, and since 2004, government of India is working on different issues, and they develop a national manufacturing competitive council. And then in 2006, the prime minister at that time, he also expressed his concern that we must increase this contribution by 10%. Why we are all discussing about research is, if I am increasing this contribution for the development of the product, with the rise of 10%, there will be 100 million jobs, specifically the technical jobs for engineers in this country, which is of course required nowadays. So the problem is not new. Yeah, we are struggling hard for this problem. And if we see, this is stagnant since financial year 13 14, then 15, and till now, we are struggling around 15%. Now government has set a target that by 2025 it must be 25%, but still we are having a big problem to achieve this target. Not only the government, but the other organizations like public sector, or some private sector players, there are also suggesting the same thing, that we must increase the contribution of the manufacturing sector, which indirectly means I have to do a lot of R&D. I have to come up with a lot of new projects, right? So that this contribution must increase. There are some issues in our country, like inadequate infrastructure. Government is working hard on development of the infrastructure, but still, if we want to compare it with the developed nation, like in US or Western world, the infrastructure is not at par. Then we have issues with the finance. We have a land acquisition problem. We have some labor laws, and so many laws are there, uh, uh, which basically restrict the any innovator to come to or any entrepreneur to start his own business, or a big company, or big investor from the Western world to invest in our place. So there are some of the bottlenecks, right? So this is the true picture. Now, we all know that there is a problem. Now, to address this issue, there were so many deliberation. In one of the deliberation between CII and government of Andhra, they came up with a very innovative solution that innovation in product and process should be the key driver for the growth in the manufacturing sector. Now, this is the key line around which our whole story of the R&D moves, or research report writing moves. I have to innovate. It may be in the product form, or it may be in the process form. This will be helping me in increasing the contribution of the manufacturing sector, which will be basically helping me in increase of its share in the GDP. I give you one example to put my point, and then we will see about the tool. In our country, we are different from the Western world. Like in Western world, people go for vacations from one place to another place to explore different locations. But in our country, maybe because of the limited resources, or maybe because of the large population, people are not like that. We go from one place to another place, but mainly for the religious tourism, or the another part is the medical tourism. So that is the concept little different from what we see in the Western world, right? Now you just imagine, from this part of the country right now, let us say from the Chandigarh, a lot of people goes to Maharashtra. There is a religious place, Gurudwara in Nanded, and it is reported that around 5,000 people visit that place. I have also a chance to visit that place, and whenever you go to some religious place with a particular frame of mind, definitely we want to buy some souvenir, right, for our near and dear ones. So I also have, I was roaming in the market. I came across a set of LED in which there were, very beautiful lights over there. I asked the shopkeeper, what is the cost of this? He told me that this is just 50 rupees, but this is made in China. So there will be no guarantee. Once you go out of the shop, this will be, non-returnable basis type situation. So that is actually not good, right? But even then I buy. Now the reason was, of course, the cost. Second was the value addition in the product. What value addition they have made? That is through innovation. Just on a that LED lamp, they put a quotation in local language that Yatra Shri Hajur Sahib. Now you just imagine a group of people, going to particular religious place with a particular state of mind, and that is so catchy that everybody wants to buy that and give it to their near and dear ones, which is otherwise not available at your place. LEDs are available, but with that code. Then to add ice on the top, what they did is they put some religious symbol as per the faith. So people with a particular frame of mind goes there and they buy, in bulk. Now this is what? This is an innovation. Innovation is a product. In what is the product? Product was just a LED, but with a lot of innovation, which basically attract the customers, right? Now keeping this as a simple example in our mind, now you just imagine if I am writing some report, and it is attracting the psyche of the funding agency, or it is attacking the psyche of the international audience who is going to approve it for publication, who is going to approve it for some project, that will be better to raise funds. So that is the idea how I can basically attract that, right? So most of the faculty members across our country, they say that we are in teaching, we are not in research, or I am in UG or diploma level. But in ideal situation, this teaching and research is a closed loop. We cannot distinguish. It may be involving PG studies, it may be involving research or UG studies, but it is in a closed loop. Then the ideal university should be, high in research and high in teaching. But most of the universities, they are not good in research as well as not good in teaching. But we have to aspire for this and come up with this situation. Now there are some indicators like how much input you do on the personnel you hire for R&D, what is the R&D expenditure, then output you can observe in form of publications, IPRs, patents, copyright, and all this, right? Now this is the last theory slide, then we will talk about the tool. This is one perspective by a third party, which is a Thomson Reuters. Then in 2019-18, this company was overtaken by a company called Clarivate Analytics, which is a third-party US-based company, which basically, gives you the ranking of your journals. We are, of course, nowadays very much interested in publishing our paper in journals of high impact factor. Now, what does this data says? As regard to the research part, the in engineering, the India's contribution was 4.3% in 1981, and it was reduced to 2.2% in 1995. This is, really bad. And then again, India increased its contribution to 4.25% by 2010. Currently, in the present time, we are again around 5%. Whereas our competitor like China, Korea, Taiwan, they are doing much better than us as regard to the research part is concerned. So we are really lacking as regard to, this contribution is concerned. Like for example, if you see just contribution of around 5%, that means for 95% of the product R&D we are dependent on the Western world, right? So normally we say that we are good in computer science, but the contribution is just 2.5%, whereas the China, Korea, Taiwan, etc., these countries are doing much better than us, right? Now the thing is, this is not the job of the government. This is the job of the, technopreneurs, or the faculty in the universities or colleges to come up with a innovative solution that can help us in increasing this contribution in the research part. So probably this is one of the reasons that Professor Gupta has thought of putting this type of session, like which can motivate or can help in understanding how we can go for a better report writing that can help me in raising the funds. We came across some of the common issues which are of course related with the problems with the faculty as regard to they are confused whether they have to go for the fundamental research or the industrial research, then assessing of agencies which is good for raising the funds, maybe government or non-government, then the demographic related issues, problem with the infrastructure, then of course the correlation of the research with the faculty promotion. Now we'll see how the solution will come and how these online tools can help us. So point by point I will start on solving these issues. The first is the identification of the research problem, whether it is of the fundamental nature or it is of the basic nature. In our country, if you go to any of the big universities or even the IITs, we don't distinguish the let us say the PhD program, whether this is being performed with the basic research idea or with the applied research idea. uh, in Western world, let us say you go to UK. I have been there in University of Manchester for some time. I came across a situation that if you are doing a fundamental research, then the PhD program runs for 5 years, and if you are doing for a applied research, the PhD program is for a 3 years. And in basically the applied research or a industrial research, they have one supervisor from the industry. At that time, like in from a mechanical, I came across that they were working on some super finishing honing process, and the problem was of the Rolls Royce, and one faculty member from the University of Manchester and one from the Rolls Royce, they were the supervisors, and they were solving the problem. So whatever the solution the boy was giving at that time, that was actually implemented in the industry for the betterment. But in our case, we are, just doing a lot of theoretical work on developing some mathematical models or even the optimization studies, but which are, very rarely applied in industry. So that is a big concern. We have to think about this now. How to solve this problem, right? And how some online scientific tool can help me understanding this, right? Now the first thing is, whenever you came across this type of situation, we must understand that I have to give a due weightage for the work to my seniors. Senior means who has done some really good work, maybe in industry or maybe in India or abroad, right? So one of the simple solution is, I must see and honor the work done by my seniors in the form of, let us say, referring their work by fixing, like I will be only making a basic idea from the SCI journals, right? So SCI, like citation index journals, we all understand, they maintain a minimum level of publication standards, and if you are of that level, then only you can be able to publish in that. Now, how I will come to know that? So for that purpose, I am going to take you on a exposure to a scientific tool. So what I am going to do is, I am taking you to my institute library site. I believe all of you can see my library site over here. Is it visible? Please confirm. This is my library site. Yes, anyone can please confirm. Are you able to see this? Anyone can unmute and can say yes or no.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So what we have to do is, we have to go for the library, and then there are some resources over here. I believe if you are an AICT affiliated institution, all these resources that you are seeing over here, these are being provided free of cost by the AICT. Just I have to apply, right? So one of the database over here is the Web of Science Lease Lessons. So what I am going to do is, I am going to click over here. So it is going to show me one interface, right? So the interface is there. So I think, can you see this interface? Can you see this? Is this interface available?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, yes.
Now,
Yes,
see,
sir.
I am doing one exercise in front of you. Parallelly, I am opening one platform on Google, and I am trying to distinguish what I am searching on Google and what I am searching on this interface, how better result I am getting, right? So, like my area of interest is 3D printing, so I just put a keyword as a 3D printing over here. So we will do number of examples just for basic understanding. So what I did is, on a Google interface, this is basically a 3D printing keyword that has been put over here, right? So I came across a number of results which are in the form of some papers, which are in the form of some videos, which are in the form of some, industrial establishments, and some printers over here. So what I want to convey from this is, if I use Google database and I put a keyword like 3D printing, what I am getting is the output in the form of commercial as well as non-commercial research, right? So we are not interested in the commercial thing for the academic publication. Now the same thing I am doing on my this interface by putting a word 3D printing. So I put a search over here, right? So what you see, it is showing 66,813 publications which are approved by the Web of Science database, right? And these all are non-commercial research, right? And by default, this database picks the data from the past 20 years. I have a option to put a filter. I have whether I am interested in past 1 year data, past 5 year data, past 10 year data. Otherwise, by default, it will select past 20 years data, right? Now, if you just look into the observation, you will come to know that out of these 66,000 papers or documents, these many are review articles, these many are early access articles, these are open access articles. So you can make a lot of filter out of it. And then of course you can have a filter like this: how much publication in 2024 on this, how much in 23, how much in 21. So you can have by default past 20 years data, right? If you use any other database like Scopus database that I will share with you after this example, so you can have this similar observation for by putting other filters also, right? Now what I am trying to do is I want to analyze this data, right? So there is a tab over here, you can see analyze results. So I am clicking over here, analyze the result. Now you can see it is showing that out of these 66,000 paper, right? Let me make in the bar chart form. Uh, these many papers, are in the area of material science. These many papers are in the area of physics. These many in the nanoscience, chemistry, polymer science, like that, right? Let us say you are a researcher in the area of engineering manufacture. So you need to further search only for these 4,000 articles in place of the total 66,000 articles, right? You can see over here, by selecting your particular area, you can put a filter, because it will be difficult for me to get an extract out of 66,000 publication, right? For justifying the audience that what novel or what new I am going to do. So what I can do is I can make a filter depending upon my own area. Maybe if you are in polymer science, in biomedical, in chemistry, so you can select a particular database, right? So this is the very simple tool in a way that you can come across like which area you are interested for the publication. You can download all this as a Excel file, as a CSV file. It can be downloaded. Now you see over here there are so many subcategories. Like you are interested in publication by year, you are interested in authors, you are interested through citation, you are interested through language, you are interested to countries. Like this is one of the very important. If you are interested to raise some fund for your proposal, one of the basic question that is being asked by any government agency: what is the work done in India, what is the work done abroad? You can see for the selected keyword, the maximum work was reported in China. Of course, some work has been reported in India also, right? So by putting your own keyword, making it more narrow, you can always justify that what is the need for doing the research or exploration in this particular area. So depending upon your keyword, you can come to know that what is going on at the different country levels. Similarly, just with a click of mouse, you will be able to know what are the funding agency they are interested. So there are, how many projects are being pushed by different funding agency. So you can select by that. Who are the authors? So you can also, depending upon the type of authors, funding agency, grants, whether conferences who are in this book series, editor, all how many paper are with the sustainable development goals. Nowadays lot of funding with these SDGs is also there. So you can see, so as which particular SDG is being tackled by this type of the keyword. So in this way, just with a click of mouse, you can have so many filter, and you can just going to the tab called analysis. You can filter the data, right? If I just scroll down, the same data is also available on this side also. So you can do it from this database, and this is available free of cost, right? Is it clear till now? Is it clear?
Yes,
Is
sir.
it clear? Okay. Like just to give you some interest into this, like for example, let us say I am comparing whether Maruti Alto is better than Nano on what aspect, right? So this comparison is a commercial comparison, right? So you can have this type of comparison in some of the magazines like Auto India. right? So this type of comparison you can always get on a database like Google. Now, if I want to compare it on a scientific ground, I will not compare on the basis of the brand. I will compare this much horsepower car or engine is how better or comparable for particular scientific feature with another horsepower vehicle. Like 800 cc vehicle is how better than 700 cc vehicle. That type of comparison is non-commercial, right? So this database that I am discussing with you is a non-commercial database, right? Now you see here, another beautiful thing is I have a title of the paper, I have the authors, I have the journal, complete citation, then uh, I can download it freely. Now you see here, there is a tab on this. This is sort by relevance, right? So what I can do over here, I can make a sorting in this, let us say based upon the citation. So what I did is I click on by citation. Now you see the first paper has changed. Now this paper, this additive manufacturing of metallic component, this is published something in 2018, and this much references it is having, and these many citations it got, right? If I do the sorting based upon the let us say the newest first, means most recent paper, I can have a different database in front of me. Why I am doing like this, the idea is to, like, if you are writing any review article, or you are writing the most relevant problem for your work, you have to justify the database, that whatever the database you are putting over here, it is showing you the best result, right? So what we do is, the non-controversial way is, I do the based upon the citation, like highest citation paper I have to post. Yes, any query, please? Any query? Is it clear till now? Is it clear? Yes, anyone? Okay.
Yes.
Now what I am going to do is, there is a option over here. I select all this data, and I can export this you know as a different file format. Let us say I selected text file, right? Now it is showing that it is giving me the option to 50 results I want to analyze, or depending upon your assess, how many papers you want. Let us say I select that I will be interested in first 999 papers. So what sort of comparison you want? Author title, sources, author title, abstract, etc. So just do that and then click over export. So what is going it is going to do is, based upon the selected data, it has downloaded a file as a txt file on my desktop. So you can see this file as a txt file is there on my desktop. Now I'm going to use a open source software. The name of the tool is VosViewer. You can download it as free of cost, open source. Even this works in your mobile phone also, in smartphone also. Now I'm going to open that file that I have downloaded in this software. Now you will see very beautiful results we will be observing in this, right? So what I have done is, I have a database. From that database, I do the sorting. Then out of selected papers, 66,000 papers, I selected top 1,000 paper, downloaded the information in the coded form as a txt file. Now that txt file I am opening in this open source software. Now there is a option, we go to the create, right? So this is a text data. So next, so you see over here in this database, it is allowing Web of Science, Scopus, Dimension, Lens, PubMed. These are the different database. Like right now I have a access for the Web of Science. Similarly, people who are working in the STEM area, they are really interested in Scopus. People who are in the architect area, they are interested in this type of database. Then people who are in the biomedical, they only recognize the PubMed database, right? So it can work with these type of 5 databases. Put next. Now since this is a web of science data, so whatever file I have downloaded, this was like this, so I am trying to open up in this. Put next, right? Then next, now there is an inbuilt algorithm that is basically comparing some of the common terms that are being observed in those top 1000 articles that I have selected, right? So then I will put again next. Now it is showing that out of initially 66,000 items, I shortlisted 1,000 items. Out of those 1,000 items, it came across around 22,000 items which are repeatable, right? And if I put a repeatability of 10, then these many items met the threshold, right? I can increase or decrease this repeatability. Let us say I put the repeatability as 2. So out of this 2 repeatability, it becomes this. If I put it as 1, this will become equal, right? So I put it minimum as 2. Like for example, if you write any research paper, we have to write some keywords. So keywords are something around which my whole paper is moving, right? So I put a repeatability as 2, right? So these many terms met the threshold. Then put the next. Then out of those selected items, it is now applying over here a Pareto analysis, right? So by default, it took as a 60% most relevant term, right? So it's selected like this. You can increase or decrease how many terms you want up to 80%. So then put next. Then it will generate a relevance score table. Now this relevance score table is based upon the fact that a particular keyword is how many times coming with respect to the other keywords, and it will develop a comparison table which can be downloaded as a CSV file. As there are 2000 plus items, it will take just a fraction of second. As you can see, the database is taking some time for the analysis. Yes, it has generated a relevance score table in which you can see there are some terms, then occurrences are there, and then there is a relevance. So this involves around 2000 plus terms, right? Now then what we will do, we will put a finish over here, say yes. Now it will come up with a very beautiful in front of you in the form of some different color balls or balloons, whatever you can see. And this is basically a networking diagram which shows the correlation of the work done by the different researchers and about the research gap. I will explain how. Each color ball over here is associated with a one keyword that was there in the relevance score table. You can increase or decrease the size of the balls, right? There is a tab over here called analysis. You came to know that there are 2443 items which were divided into 16 clusters, and in each cluster, which is represented by a particular color ball, the common number of items that has been shown. Like for example, if you are interested in work done on a selective laser sintering, I took my mouse over here and put at this node. So some lines are highlighted, whereas other are put dim. So wherever I am getting a strong link, that means a good work or remarkable work has been reported on this, and wherever there is no link, the work has not been reported, right? Like one of the major thing in writing a report or in pushing your research problem is that this work has been done earlier and this work has not been done. Now this is using a third party database. Wherever I am getting a strong node with a strong link, I can see that the work has been reported, and wherever there is no link, no work has been reported. So you can move to the different points and can observe that whether the work has been done or it has not been done, right? Is it clear? Is it clear? Or I can give another example to, or I can redo the exercise to put my point. Is it clear? Yes, anybody? Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so
Yes, sir.
there are some options in this software. You can go for the work done in different years with a color coding. You can go for the density visualization. You can go for the overlay visualization. You can go for the colored lines or curved lines, whatever you want to do. Right. You can also control the size, etc. You can control the like font, like we do in normal MS Word or something like that, right? So in analysis, you can rotate this in a different way. You can flip it horizontally. You can flip it vertically. So there are many options, right? To just to put your point that what is important and what is not important, right? So this networking diagram that you are seeing in front of you is called a bibliometric analysis or bibliometric diagram. And if I go to a particular, let us say a deposition modeling, I am selecting as a node, and I click over here, I will come to know that for this particular keyword, what are the work done that are reported, and wherever I am not getting any link, means no work has been reported in this type of the database. Now this helped me in presenting a research gap in a big way, that why I am tackling this problem, and if I put it like this in my proposal, the chances of acceptance are more, because this is the most scientific data, and it is based upon the third party, right? Is it clear? Or I can take one more example to put my point, or I can take another database also. We have done this with the Web of Science database. We can do this with the Scopus database also. So in front of you, I open a Scopus database, scopus.com, right? It will just take a minute to open, right? So the interface is there. Similar to that, again, this is a non-commercial data. So I put a keyword like 3D printing, right? Search. Similar to the previous case, right? I got a large number of papers. You can see over here more than 1 lakh paper has been observed. Here also we can do a lot of analysis at first stage, like you can see in front of your screen. you know you are interested in, let us say, document by year, then you can do document by source, document by author, document by affiliation, document by country or territory, right? So this is the third party data, and nobody can challenge why you are getting this. Document by subject area, like for example, if you are interested to use this technology in medicine, then only you need to attack on this data, or these many papers. Otherwise, rest papers are of no use. Around 12,000 articles only, right? So I can just do the analysis of these 12,000 articles. Like if you are interested in engineering, over here you just focus on these articles. No need to go for the rest of the articles. If you are interested in chemical, then accordingly you can select, right? Is it clear? So this helped me in shortlisting the data in a very beautiful or the scientific way, right? And I can select my database and can do my study, right? Again, if I do the same exercise over here, for all the type of the databases, I will have a similar result, right? So similar to the previous case, okay, let me take the large number of paper over here. So like over here, so I select this data, then I go to export. Then of course there are some option, let us say option I take a CSV file. So it is allowing me right now, as per my subscription, that I can download 20,000 documents in a day. Let us say I select for the first 1000 document, right? So I'll put download. So it is, making a CSV file, right, which will be just opening in my desktop right now. It will be giving me all information about the title. It will be showing me the abstract. It is be showing me about the publisher, then the source, and it is also, you can see over here, it is showing that this will be published in the year 2025. So I have downloaded this as a CSV file. Right now I am opening my interface of the WASWare. So I will go to the file, go to the create data, right? So this is a Scoopus data. So I will go to the Scoopus over here. So select a Scoopus CSV file. Okay. Next, next. So inbit algorithm running, right? So it is showing that 3, 3, 3, 4 items having a repeatability. I fix the repeatability, let us say as 2. So 370 met the threshold. Then top 60, 2 items. Put next, get a CSV file, downloadable. Then next, and then you can see I am getting a networking diagram like this. Now this networking diagram is again uh, showing me the, for the selected database that I have selected, let us say for the biomedical part, and let us say I am interested in energy deposition. So I will go to this bubble and will try to correlate for this energy deposition, or for the selected node, whether there is a some link or whether there is no link, right? So this is the beauty of this tool, that for any known keyword, I can extract the third party information, whether that information is useful or that information is not useful. Is it clear? Is it clear?
Yes,
Any
sir.
question about this database?
No, sir. Clear. It is clear.
Okay, great. So we were here about discussing about the problems. So the researcher, as a researcher, I must understand that I have to justify the board that this work is novel, this work has not been done earlier, and I have to give my best to convince the third party that this work has not been done, right? Then the next important part is, after you have pinpointed well that this work is novel and this work has not been done earlier, right? So the next important thing is to justify whether this is related to some societal need, or this is just a exploratory research. In most of the research funding or the research proposals, the government agencies concern is, if you can transfer the benefit to the larger society, the chances of acceptance are more, right? So one of the solution for this is to go for the development of the center of excellence in that area. So that center of excellence is is going to be a uh, very good solution for raising the funds from the different government agencies. Then we can have the involvement of industry. We can involve some industry through innovation fairs, then interaction with the regular faculty members, or we can give some seed money to our young faculty, and in return for taking some of the consultancy project. Then the another important thing is the awareness about the funding agency. That is of course important. Like there are people in our circle. They say that I am from the diploma college. I have limited resources. How can I raise a funds? How can I get a project? This story actually don't work. The thing is, the funding agency, or the people who is there to give you the project, they want a solution for some problem. They are not there for your problem, they are there for their own problem, and they want to seek some solution from you for this type of problem. To address this issue, one of the basic step is I must build my infrastructure, whether I am a diploma college or a UG college or a PG lab, it is there, right? So there are some schemes like FIST, MODROP by the AICT. FIST DST is through the Department of Science and Technology, through which I can basically build my basic infrastructure. Then I can think of involving my alumni or the philanthropist. Nowadays, government is giving very liberal funding through CSR, corporate social responsibility, and whatever the company with the CSR, they are giving the funds to you for some research part. They are getting the same amount as a tax rebate through the government of India. In our place, in our department only, we got 1.65 crore from the ABP as a CSR funding. So that is a very big thing to raise the funds, right? And let me tell you, the process is so simple. It is just a two-page performa, which I have to send to the principal scientific officer, who is sitting in the PMO office, and they will have a discussion about our proposal, and they will visit your place and the need of the industry. And if they are convinced, okay, they can transfer the fund, and they themselves will write to the finance ministry and all that these people will be given the tax exemption equivalent to whatever they provide on the CSR funding, right? Now, to come up to that level, I must have NABL accredited equipment. Like, for example, if you are just in a civil engineering department, and you have a UTM for explaining that how the tensile behavior of some iron bars will be there. Now, if it that particular setup is NABL accredited, the chances of coming of industry to you for some certification will be more, right? Then try to have whatever the equipment in your place as accredited by some of the agencies which is recognized for giving some certification as regard to the primary or the secondary standards are concerned. And as regard to the library facilities and all, we can connect with the nearby IITs, NITs, or any CFTI, through which we can have access to your place, right? Then, of course, people talk about the correlation of research with the API, which is applicable nowadays as per the UGC AICT guidelines. Now, I will show you, some of the studies that we try to push, and why we were able to raise the funds, and what was the lacuna for some cases we were not able to raise the funds, right? Nowadays, we are really interested in NEP. So that means involving multi-entry, multi-exit, and most importantly, we are interested in the development of the product. So the end user or the end product I have to deliver. If I am able to do that, the chances of acceptance are really high. Now, in front of you, there is a problem you see over here. This is a typical problem for a surgeon. As you can see over here, there is a broken bone, and there is a this is a bone of a dog, and I have the collaborator with me, one veterinary surgeon, and one another professor from mechanical, Professor Pavla. And the problem was, like, once this bone was broken, this is very common for the young age dogs. What we do is we put a pin into this, like you can see over here, and this putting a pin is a standard practice. This pin is called Stimmen spin, right? And the idea is, once you put this pin into the broken part, right? So in around 10 to 15 days, this bone healing take place, and in most of the cases, maximum up to 1 month, I have to put this pin inside, and then I have to remove it, right? So this is a common practice, right? And people are doing this, the surgeons are exploring this since long. Now, there are some problems which are, of course, related with my demography. Like one of the problem is the whenever the dog have this type of pin in its leg, and whenever they see their owner, they get excited and they start galloping. So once they put a jump like this pin comes out from this side, and I have to go for a immediate surgery because of that it's really painful, right? So the problem is how to increase the retentivity of this type of pin in this type of the cavity. So this inside is a cavity, and I have to insert a pin over here, right? So one of our collaborator, the surgeon, came up with a problem like, you can you increase the retentivity of this type of pin? So we try to see the different database like Scopus database, PubMed database, and then on this Web of Science database, what people have done for this type of problem. So we were not getting any solution through that networking diagram, and just only it was projected that no such solution was available for increasing the retention of the pin, as no correlation gap was there. Then we thought of putting some threaded portion at the one end, like at this end and at this end, right? So this basically increased the retention. Now we prepared this problem, and we tried to justify to the board of the DBT, Department of Biotechnology. If I make a pin like this and increase the retention area, increase the zone like that, there are more chances that the pin will not come out, and the project was granted, right? So this is the beauty of showing what is there and what is not there, right? And then correlating your problem with the problem of the society, right? So that is the two lesson we learned out of this, right? So there are some failures also, of course. Then we want to raise more funds, and we try to make this pin further smart with the 4D capabilities. So we try to add some meta structure over here. Some mechanical students can appreciate that this help me in further improving the properties of the pin. So we try to add on this and make this pin more flexible, right? So why I am going for this? This solution is not available. Just convincing the board help me in raising the funds. So if I can add this type of flavor in my work, the chances of acceptance are high. So similarly, you can see over here in a typical NEP environment for raising the funds, we try to develop some of the tooth for the dog. Now you see in for human application, lot of these type of tooth, they are being developed by the different manufacturing processes. So we try to develop this for the dogs, and we came across that no such solution was available in which people were, developing this for the dogs. And we developed, we printed, and we actually installed through our collaborator in the dog mouth, and the job is done, right? So we get a fund. That is the ultimate idea for this type of thing. So these are some of the case studies for developing some of the products, and this is one IPR that I am having with me. So I was just trying to convince the board in the patent cell by showing this type of cluster over here through volumetric analysis, like this type of 8 piece or 5 piece dental implant is not there, right? So I may be allowed to fabricate and then justify how this is really relevant. So similarly, some application in orthopedic, developing some smart implants. This is another case for the abdominal hernia. This is for the case for the diaphragmatic hernia, making a IoT solution which was not there and trying to show. Then this is another case for the stifle prosthesis. This is another case for making a some sensor which is based on microstrip patch antenna. Then for the waste management, then for the agri waste, for the different different uh, heritage buildings, we try to develop these type of sensors, right? Like these are the different heritage structure we were talking about, and we try to develop some of the models for presenting that this work has not been done, so we will be allowed to do that. Right now, this is a typical mechanical engineering application that I want to discuss with you. This is a USM process and this is a broaching process. Now, both process we try to join, and we try to have a IPR on this, and try to raise a fund by sending a proposal to the DRDO for machining the tough material like titanium and getting the super finished and machine drilled hole in a single stroke, like in case of the broaching. So we try to explore this on a the database I shared with you, and we developed the product. We got the IPR, and we got the project also. So similarly, some other studies related to these type of documents. Now, coming to the requirement for effective reports R&D in the area of NBA, like most of the diploma colleges, degree colleges, they want to say like I'm not getting the projects. So I just want to share with you this one website, 9site.9sigma.com. If I just click on this, you can just view over here. This is an international website which gives you lot of opportunities for the project. You can see over here there are so many projects for all branches like food, beverages, life sciences, chemical, then mechanical, chemical, STEM areas, 3D printing, all areas, pharmaceutical, whatever area you believe you can solve the problem. The n number of projects are available, right? So I usually visit you know this website for exploring the different projects. And like you have your own account, so you just make your account over here. Like it is as simple as making a email over here. So I have my own account, I can show you if it get opened. We started working with this with my collaborator from Celerino. I will show you how this help us in raising the funds and writing a report. If it opens right now, if I'm just remembering. Okay, you can see there was a I was in Salerno, Italy for some time for some project, and one of my collaborator, he was working on some project related to the Mars mission, and he's a professor in civil engineering and working basically as a structural mechanics problem, right? So what he asked me that can you solve some problem for waste management related to the heat conservation in Saskatchewan. Actually, there was a call long back. There is a place, Saskatchewan in Canada, where outside temperature is around minus 40. So the people at that place, most of the time they have to stay inside, and the government they provide them the heat source, and to conserve that heat, most of the time people are using the wooden blocks to conserve the heat. Now, with the ban on cutting the jungles and all, they want to have one solution which is a replica, which is a replacement of wood, because wood is the best insulator, and they want to have some solution which can give me the self-assembly type thing. So we try to apply for that problem, and we were number two after three revisions, who can actually give a solution for the 4D printed smart tiles, which were basically made up of polymer blended with the wood dust, basically to solve that problem. And finally it was rejected, let me tell you frankly. But the level of confidence this gave to us was so high, that again there was some call on the waste management by the DST. So I pushed that problem in that format, and it was straightway accepted, and I got 85 lakh. So my submission to the friends is, like, whosoever is interested in raising the funds and writing the reports, this is a, very beautiful place. We need not to take any permission, just a two-page performa. You can apply over here, and can continuously uh, get a good evaluation of your proposals. And if it is approved, go with that, because they give a very liberal funds. And if it is not approved, the level of rigorous evaluation they will made, and they will improve the quality of your work. Whenever you will send to any of the Indian agency, the chances of acceptance are really high. So that is one way of solving the problem. Then specifically from the academic world, one of the ways I involve my students to have projects as a mix of survey, industry based, fabrication based, CAD simulation based, or study type. This will help me in achieving my POs, like for the design and development. It will help me in professional ethics. So outcome based education, all this will be helping me in a big way. So all the faculty members must consolidate their research publication guidance, their H index on Scoopers, Google Scholar, this type of information, because this helped me in adding the value into the project, right? Now the major part for which all this story was cooked, that now I know how to raise funds. I know which is the best funding agency. Then even then I am not getting the project. The idea is, like, for example, we met first time in Delhi, and some place unknown to both of us. And I asked you that I lost my purse and give me some money. I want to go to my place in Chandigarh. Whether you will believe me? Probably not, because this type of thing may be very common in nowadays. So, but after this discussion, now you have seen me on this through the interface, Google interface or whatever. Now you can, if I came across this problem again, so you may believe me, right? So similarly, whenever you go to some funding agency, it may be bank, for raising some funds, maybe through loan, they see your CIBIL score. So similarly, whenever you go to some of the academic funding agency for raising the funds, right? So they also want to see what is your previous report, whether you have done some project earlier. If yes, the chances of acceptance are more. If the project you have done earlier is not up to the mark, or you have not submitted the UC, your score will be less, right? So the chances of acceptance are less. So for increasing your that level or confidence, similar to the simple score, one of the simple ways to go for the funding agency like IEI. This is a, I am showing you some link over here. This is by the Institution of Engineers, and it has a separate call for the diploma engineer, diploma colleges, degree colleges, BTech, MTech, PhD, etc. Right now, I will show you how whatever we have done is helpful for us in raising a fund by just going through the point by point of the form. That will be of some interest to raising the funds as a technical research report writing, right? So this is one pre-filled form, dummy for you. So first is the title of the project I have to write, then the address of the institution, then the guide. You can there can be two guides as per this performa. Then the particulars of the student, so you can write the name of the student. Now this proposal we submitted for the PG students. So for the PG, you can of course write. They have the 16 disciplines like aerospace, agriculture, architect, chemical, civil, computer science, electrical, electronics, environmental, marine, mechanical, manufacturing, this, that. So according to your own area, so you can select that particular field. Now this is important here. Now, if you want to raise the fund, you must have the five publication as a guide, right? in that respect. Here they have written that five publication in national and international conference and peer reviewed journal. If here your level of conference or the journal is not good, or you have worked something in the some predatory journal, probably the chances of acceptance are very less. This is also similar to your simple score for raising the fund. So this five is the minimum condition that they have put, right? Then they are interested whether the boy who is asking for the technical funding for some technical project, whether he has the publication again. If yes, the chances are more. But if the student is not having, they don't mind, right? Then you have to write the objective in 2000 characters. Now you see over here, review of R&D in proposed area, national and international status. Now I have to just write in 2000 characters. So this is very small lines I have to write. Now the graph I have to show in the form of pie chart, that I have shown you, that we can use this work done in India and abroad through the bibliometric network diagram. And why you are interested, what is the work done in India, right? So that you can write, then the duration, then work plan, some in the chronological order, right? In basically in the flowchart form. If you give a flowchart, the again the chances of acceptance are really high. Then after that, some future plans, findings, then of course your how much funding you want. What I came to know, that for this particular funding agency, they have put a limit like 20,000 for diploma, 50,000 for BE student, 1 lakh for ME student, 2 lakh for the PhD student, and they also provide around 14,000 per month as a stipend for a particular project, right? So maximum duration for this scheme is 2 years, and then at the end you have to give one certification through your institute, and just a 6 page performa. And what I have to do is I have to upload this performa on a website only, and it gives me the result in 3 months, right? So after every 3 months there will be the result declaration, and if your case is accepted, you will get the fund. If your case is not accepted, you will get the comments, you can improve it and can submit n number of proposal. I personally have fetched this grant 17 times in my career right now. So this is helping me in in increasing my CIBIL score for presenting to the next funding agency that I have completed these many projects, right? So once you have these baby steps taken, the confidence basically increase, and then you can go to the funding agency with a much more confidence, and it will be reflecting that how many projects you are completed. The board on the other side, they will be having some faith on you. Okay, the boy is going to complete this. So because they are also answerable at the end, the project has to be completed in time. Then you have to be very sure, once you complete these small projects, then you can approach for a big funding through UGC, DRDO, DST, AICT, NRB, Naval Research Board, CSIR. Their funding is very much open for this. Then you can have the IPR for your work. Nowadays this ipindia.nic.in is a very common site. I can just give you the glimpse of it, and you can okay, this is the interface. You can see whatever you want. So like for example, you can put some keywords over here. You can see your application status. You can put the keywords and can see what is happening just by putting the different names and the status over here. So this help us in understanding that whether some IPR has been filed for this, and if you add that thing in your research problem or research proposal, again the chances are more. There is a standard 8 step procedure. Nowadays, e-filing is very much possible. Now, I can show you one detailed procedure quickly in just 3 4 slides. Again, this is free of cost for all academic institution. What you have to do is you have to approach uh, to your DST wing. Across the country, the Department of Science and Technology, Government of India, they have a wings in all the states. Like we have for this Chandigarh and Punjab, we have this in Sector 26. Similarly, the DSTs of all the states and union territories, they give liberal funding. So what I have to do is I have to just make a governing letter and then give a just 200 words as the outcome of the invention. So they will search for it. Like for the normal search paper, we have a plagiarism software. So similarly, they have a their own database through which they will see whether this work has been done earlier or not, and then they will send you one questionnaire which includes some 23, 24 questions along with some declaration form that we have to sign. This is the questionnaire which involve around 24 questions, 22, 24 questions. And once you will submit that along with the worksheet, they will scrutinize your work. And then for this northern part, they normally call us to the IIT Delhi. They have a office of the TIFAC, Testing Information Forecasting and Assessment Council, where they basically scrutinize our work, and if they are convinced, they say go ahead to us. And the whole activities are being managed by the DST only, so we need not to worry about that. Then finally, at the last, if your work you feel is not, you are not able to make a some patent over there. Like for example, our some of the friends who are from the mathematics background or who are working in the area of some operation research or who are from the area of software development, it is not possible for them to take a patent because of the law of the land. Computer software, these type of models, they are not patentable in our country. So for that purpose, you can take a copyright. This is a standard copyright form, just a 3-page per forma, 500 rupees fees, and in just you have to submit to the Delhi office, available free of cost on the website, and you submit over there. They will have some cross questioning, and in 6 months you will get a IPR specifically in the form of the copyright. So if your proposal is capable of raising fund, is capable of getting a IPR, the chances of acceptance are really high. So today I have tried to discuss some of the tools that can help me in raising the funds and can be used for a long time understanding of the proposal. That's all I want to share with you now.